What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And today I want to talk to you about this saga surrounding the game Metro Exodus. Specifically how they are getting review bombed on Steam right now, the threat that was made by a developer over there at Metro Exodus, and then the subsequent apology that soon followed. So quick summary for those of you who have not been paying attention, Metro Exodus is a console and PC game, and it's particularly important to PC players because it has always been exceptionally gorgeous on PC. If you have a high-end PC and you want to play a game that really maxes out your PC, the Metro games have always been a great way to do it. They look fantastic on PC. Metro Exodus was available on the Steam store, where obviously all the other Metro games had been available before, but due to some shenanigans over there at Epic Games, they were able to bribe those folks into taking the game off of the Steam store and giving the Epic launcher a 1-year timed exclusivity to the game. So if you want to play it on PC, you can no longer buy it on Steam, you can only buy it on the Epic launcher. No, it's not all bad news. Obviously, the folks who made Metro are going to profit from making this decision. And then on top of that, they passed on $10 of the profit on to you. So if you would have bought it on Steam, you would have spent $60. If you buy it on the Epic launcher, you would have paid $50. And if you did previously pre-order the game on Steam, they're going to honor that. So you'll still own it and be able to play it on Steam. So they did the right thing up to a point. And this has been frustrating for a lot of PC players, including myself, because we prefer the Steam format. A lot of us don't want to download another launcher. A lot of us already have Origin and Uplay and now the Epic launcher and, of course, Steam and then the grand old games. So a lot of us don't want to add another launcher to our system, and we do like to just use Steam, which is a much more robust system than the rest of these, with a smaller footprint and a lot more usability and a lot more social functions. So it's frustrating for PC players to have to download the Epic launcher, to buy their game elsewhere, to set up their credit card information, to do all of that stuff again for a launcher they're only going to use probably for just one game. But this fact seemed to be lost almost entirely by some of the folks over there at Deep Silver, specifically from this one interview here that you're going to see. And this has been translated from Russian, but there's some real cause for concern when you read this, including a threat from one of the developers to not bring another Metro game, if there is another Metro game, to PC because of all the frustration. Here we see that developer saying, on the other hand, the reaction of a certain category of players is hardly adequate. It seems that people did not want to play, they just waited for a reason to pour out their bile. That is, it turns out that we, the developers, for years have been hard and painful with losses, trying to do something special, but a certain category of players believe that our work is not worth even a couple of minutes to install the launcher. Naturally, it is their life and their right, but then what do they care about Metro? Obviously, it is not interesting to them. I can only say that they were not our players either. They are not interested in our work, which means that, for example, the opinions of such people is not interesting for me either. The implication here is saying that basically a lot of people are being very vocal right now, are being very upset about Metro Exodus moving to the Epic launcher. We're not potential customers anyway. They're just people who are not interested in the game and are just ready to be upset about something. And there might be a grain of truth to that, but the reality of it is a lot of this are Metro fans who are frustrated and a lot of Steam fans who are frustrated at the current situation. And he says that, to these people, it's not even worth a few seconds to download the Epic launcher. And I think that is kind of tone deaf. I think he really doesn't understand the issue that a lot of us have 3, 4, 5 different launchers on our hard drives. We don't want to install another one just to play this one game, especially when just a week ago we were able to pre-order that game on Steam, but a lot of us were waiting for the review, so we missed our opportunity. And he also is quick to dismiss this stuff, and we see this a lot when it comes to these games companies. They just dismiss these negative feedback, but it does impact your bottom line. Even if it wasn't a potential customer, word of mouth is very important. You should listen to this stuff. You should react to this kind of stuff. You should be pro-consumer and kind to your user base, specifically your potential customers, because this stuff can and does scare off potential customers. And you have lost a large number of potential customers here who would have otherwise purchased it on Steam, who might wait a year later or maybe never purchase it at all. But consider the situation deeper, he says. Someone says that if they crap Exodus and the previous games in the series, it will make the world better. They will put greedy developers in their place. To this, I can answer that in a pinch. If all the PC players announce a boycott of Metro Exodus, then the next Metro, if it does come, is definitely not going to be on PC. Yeah, he is threatening the user base. It's never a good idea. The obvious implication here is that if you do not purchase the game on the Epic launcher and the game does not sell well, then if we are so lucky to get to make another Metro game, another game in the series, then we will not even develop a PC version because of how toxic and terrible and awful you people are. And same song and dance, different game. Obviously, we never attack our customers. We never attack our potential customers. We never attack gamers of the gaming industry. We don't do that. That's just not something we do. It never, ever plays well. And keep in mind, this guy doesn't speak for all of Deep Silver, doesn't speak for the entire company. I'm sure he's just one frustrated, irritated developer, but we still don't do this. This is a bad business practice. Now, the good news is the folks over at Deep Silver were very quick to apologize for this, saying that the individual developers' views did not reflect Deep Silver or 4A Games' views. A PC version will always be at the heart of our plans for future Metro games. They say the views reflect the hurt and disappointment of a passionate individual who has seen what was previously nothing but positive goodwill towards his work turn to controversy due to a business decision he had no control over. We respectfully ask that any and all valid feedback over this decision is directed at Koch Media /Deep Silver and not the developers at 4A Games. And they went on to stress the point that this developer, or any of the developers at 4A Games, is not responsible for the decision to move this over to the Epic launcher. It was a corporate decision by Koch Media /Deep Silver. And I think that's so important here. It's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. Whenever you're upset at a game like Anthem or Battlefront 2, it's never the developer's fault. Don't take it out on DICE. Don't take it out on 4A Games. Don't take it out on the individual developers. It is not their problem. It is not their fault. Even in this case, I think when this person is expressing his frustration and his dismay, there's no reason to attack this person or any developer. The person that you want to be frustrated with is the corporation that runs and publishes these games. That's who you want to be frustrated with. And again, not even any individuals. You want to be frustrated with the corporation, with the company. And if you are, the best way to express that isn't hate on Twitter. It isn't awful attacks to developers. It isn't even making a YouTube video necessarily. It's boycotting the game by choosing not to purchase it or purchase it later down the road when it's on sale. You know, just to use your wallet as your voice. That's always the best decision because that's what publishers really listen to. But this is also a two-way street, and I do recommend to developers, don't attack your user base. Don't attack your player base. I know how toxic it feels to have worked your entire 3-4 years on a game to make it look perfect, to make it look gorgeous and play wonderfully, and then have it attacked by your user base and get review bombed on Steam and get attacked on Twitter. I understand that. But that's, again, the players are not the people you should be mad about. We're not mad at you. You shouldn't be mad at us. We should all be mad at the corporate stiffs who profit from these terrible, terrible decisions. And my voice is loud, but if you work inside the company, your voice is 10 times louder. You should be running this stuff up the ladder. Don't make me make a YouTube video before this decision is made public. You should let them know it's a bad, bad idea. The good news is I do know for a fact a lot of developers do work very, very hard to make sure their games are monetized in a fair and loving way. It doesn't always happen though, and I appreciate the ones that try. But when it fails to happen, know that your user base is going to get frustrated and irritated. And as long as we're not issuing crazy threats, as long as we're not hurting anybody, if we're just boycotting your game, if we're just walking away from it, if we're just discussing it by saying we don't like these business decisions, that's something you're just going to have to deal with. Even if you poured your heart into that game, sometimes these decisions will derail the art you created. I'm so sorry for that. But that's the business you've chosen to be a part of, and it sucks. But now I'm curious as to what you think. Guys, do me a favor. Drop a like on this video while you're down there, but also leave me a comment. Let me know. Did this apology help? Are you still going to purchase Metro Exodus? If you're going to buy it on console, let me know if you're going to buy it on PC, or you're going to wait a year and buy it on Steam, or you're just going to buckle down and let the Epic Store get installed on your PC. Let me know if it's even a big deal to you. I'd love to know. And guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.